Hello to you. All this time in lockdown, I've been practicing cooking steaks on the fire pit. I think I've absolutely nailed it. I'd like to share it with you. This is a 600 gram ribeye. I can't wait. Let's do it. The ribeye is my favorite cut of beef because of its deep, rich, beefy flavor. But the trade-off is you've got to be careful to get the tenderness right when you're cooking it. When I'm at the butcher window, the two things I'm looking for are marbling, so the intramuscular fat, these little veins of white fat, they render down to liquid when you cook it, and so that adds a whole heap of flavor. So the more the better. And the other thing is the thickness. Doesn't matter if it's a thin steak or a thick steak, you can have that preference, but you want it to be uniform thickness so that when you cook it, you can get a nice even doneness. This sort of steak is basically almost a tomahawk. So a tomahawk would have more of the rib and some of the short rib meat on it. Preparation actually started a bit earlier in the day. Got it out of the fridge to get it closer to room temperature for about 2 hours, and then seasoned it with salt and pepper, and then left it for another 2 hours to rest. At the same time, I prepped a few vegetables, sweet potato, seasoned it with a bit of salt and pepper. I had a bit of rosemary on its way out in the fridge, so I threw that in, and a couple of garlic cloves just to bring out some flavour. I'm using the Snow Peak fire pit with the grill bridge, and the grill bridge is at its lowest notch out of the three, so it's maximum heat. I'm also using this insert from Drifter, which allows you to get a raised uniform bed of coals for cooking. I've done away with the Snow Peak grill. It's a bit of a story in itself. I've got myself this thing. It's an Braai Camp Braai grill basket. I guess you could say we're in the honeymoon period at the moment. I'm loving it. I'm still getting used to it. Once I've got a bit more experience, I'll be making a video on it for sure and talking about the trials and tribulations with the Snow Peak, but here we go. We're using the Bedourie spun steel camp oven with a trivet inside to stop it frying on the bottom. You just want the air to get underneath to help bake it. We're going to put the lid on this way so we can use the top to put more coals on, so we've got heat coming from the top and from the bottom. For charcoal, I'm using the Pitt Brothers Gidgee Hardwood charcoal. It's still the best, I reckon. It's the best one I've tried for when you've got direct cooking or that flavour getting into the food. Got a fresh shipment the other day, so it should be right for another few months now in lockdown. Because I want this nice and hot, I filled the charcoal starter pretty close to the top, so this will be ripping hot, I reckon. We're going to give the steak a light oil, stop things from sticking and help bring the flavours out of the steak. We're using canola oil. You want to use a very high flash point because when we're searing it, it's going to get really hot. Something like, I don't know, peanut oil, avocado oil, canola oil, something like that. Just giving the inside of the Bedourie oven just a bit of canola oil as well, just to help things not stick. And the trivet as well, with the steak sitting on it. I'm not going to preheat the oven. I'm going to put the coal in, get everything ready inside the oven, and then just place the oven on. Because the Bedourie oven heats up really quick, we don't need to add any extra thermal stress in the steak, so we want a nice kind of smooth temperature gradient. If we just hike up the temperature instantly, you won't get it as tender. So yeah, not preheating in this case. When you season your steak, a lot of salt gets lost in the baking process and in the moisture getting out of the steak, so you probably need a little more than you think you do. I can taste a difference if I don't leave it for 2 hours, but after 2 hours it's much of a muchness, so yeah, 2 hours is my rule of thumb for between seasoning it and putting it on the heat. The salt gives it a salty flavour, but the salt actually brings out the beef flavour itself, and that's why it's really important to let it soak in as much as you can, particularly with a thick steak like this. Alright, I can see the white on the charcoal at the top, which means it's just about ready to go. I'm going to put the stuff in and we'll see how we go. Let's do this. Alright, so half the charcoal in the bottom. Spread that around. Don't want any too high. Nice and even. Grill on. Oven on. Oven lid on. The rest of the charcoal. I'm looking for an internal temperature of between 53 and 56 degrees with the probe. That'll get us a nice medium rare to rare once we've done the sear. This usually takes about 20 minutes. This usually takes about 20 minutes, but this is a massively thick steak. It's about 52 millimeters thick. So I'm going to leave it for 23 to 25 minutes and then check it after that. Hey Bubba! Yeah, we're making stuff. While I'm waiting, I'll just wash off my board, grab a refill of the drink, and I'll be right back. You can probably come out. Just gotta watch it with the hot stuff. Hot, hot. Hot, hot. Okay, hot, hot. Alright, so I reckon that's just about done. Let's check the temperature. Lift the lid off. I'll just take a happy snap of this. Hot, hot, Bubba, hot, hot. Stay there. Avoid the bone. Yep, I reckon that's just about right. Alright, I'm going to get the veggies out there, they'll be done. Nice and browned on the edges from sitting against the oven. We're going to let the steak sit in alfoil for about 10 minutes. Just do a bit of, to let the juices get back into the meat. To let the juices get back into the meat and to do a bit more carryover cooking. Alright, drum roll for the secret ingredients. Apple juice. The sugars in apple juice help with the formation of the crust when you sear the steak. And the other one, hickory wood chips. I have a favourite type of smoking wood for each type of meat, and for beef I love hickory smoked beef. So this is the one I've chosen. Don't wet it, you want it to flame and you want smoke, not steam, so just do it dry. This is about 10 bucks a bag at Bunnings or hardware store. Won't break the bank. Get some. This is what makes this steak so good. Alright, so next up I'm going to prepare this for searing. I'm going to take the oven off and I'm going to put the coals that were on the top back into the pit to make it super hot for the next step. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw in a couple of big handfuls of hickory smoking wood right as I start to sear it. I want the flames to provide most of the heat, so I want to hit it hard with flames with that smoky flavour all at once. 1 to 2 minutes, that's it. It's in, it's out, it's hot, it's ripping, and that's how we do it. I'd like to pay a tribute and honour our little dog Buddy. So we had to say goodbye to Buddy nearly 2 weeks ago now. He was really old and it doesn't make it any easier, but he had a good run. And certainly he's been helping with the taste testing as I've been figuring out this recipe. So yeah, dogs are an important part of our lives, aren't they? And pets, and it's always sad and it's never easy. It's almost like they're a family member, especially having spent so much time at the moment at home. So anyway, this one's to Buddy. We're going to baste a bit of this apple juice on the side that we're going to cook first. Alright, so next steps. It's all going to happen once I put the smoking wood on, so here we go. One really big handful of wood chips right in the centre. I really want that to catch. Putting my steak face down. Look at that. So the smoking wood is lit, and it's not only providing smoke, it's also the flame is providing that direct heat. What's going on right now is called Maillard reactions, where amino acids are reacting with the sugars to make that brown crust. The apple juice is helping this. So basically, where you've got sugars plus protein plus a lot of heat, you get that delicious crust. That'll do. Apple juice on the next side. Flip it over. Look at that. You can see there, we're getting the fire from the wood itself, red hot, and you're getting the smoke flavour as well. Perfect. That'll do it. Get that off the heat. Immediately whack it back in the tin foil. Gonna let that rest for another 10 minutes or so. When you reverse sear, you don't necessarily need to let it rest a second time, but I find it allows the juiciness to work its way through the steak again, and also it seems to embed the smoky flavour better. Alright, I'm gonna do some camera trickery and I'll be right back. Let's see what this thing tastes like. Oh, it's dripping. It's dripping. Look at that. Beautiful. Medium rare to rare, I'd call that. Damn, it's gonna be good. Look at those pink juices just running out of it. Absolutely beautiful. Alright, let's give it a taste. Oh, a couple of veggies. Bring those over. So good. So juicy. Unbelievable. You really taste the smoke. Just hits you. Good. Real good. The sear takes moisture out of it, but you get back massive flavour when you sear it like that. Just perfect. If someone interrupted me right now, I'd put up my finger and say, just one moment please. Is that good? Have another look. This would easily feed 2 adults, 3 adults maybe, 2 adults, 2 kids. About 22 Australian dollars for 600 grams of steak like that. Not too bad if you ask me. You know, you'd spend more going out or something, but this is a lot more fun. That reminds me, you know why the butcher took on an extra shift? He had to make ends meet. And on that note, I think I'll call this one the Out There with Dan signature steak. Thanks a lot for watching. Click the like button if you've enjoyed it. You've got nothing to lose, and it's a massive support for the channel. Hope wherever you are in the world, you're well. It's a dark time right now. Love the people you're with. Enjoy the things you do. And get out there. See you soon.